All right, let's talk about credit cards. They can feel like a total financial minefield, right? Especially when you see that mysterious three-letter monster, APR. But what if I told you that understanding that one little thing is the key to saving a ton of money? Well, today, we're going to do just that. We are breaking down exactly what APR is and how it actually impacts your wallet.
Think about it this way. Have you ever felt like you're just renting money? Because that's pretty much what's happening when you carry a balance on a credit card. You're borrowing from the bank, and just like renting an apartment, you got to pay a fee for using their property. Only in this case, their property is their cash. And that fee, it has a name: interest.
So before we can even tackle APR, we have to start with the most basic piece of the puzzle. What in the world is interest?
Yep, it's really that simple. Interest is just the fee a lender charges you for the convenience of using their money right here, right now. You can think of it as the price you pay for getting the loan in the first place.
It's just like shopping for anything else. I mean, you wouldn't buy a jacket without looking at the price tag, would you? Well, when it comes to borrowing money, interest is the price tag.
Okay, so how do we measure this financial price tag? That, my friends, is where APR comes into the picture. It connects that general idea of interest to that specific number you see on every single credit card offer out there.
Now, the most important word to focus on here is annual. Seriously, APR isn't what you're charged each month. It's the total interest cost, all bundled up and expressed as a yearly rate. This gives you a standardized, big-picture view of just how expensive a loan really is.
And this is why APR is so powerful, because it's a standardized annual rate. It lets you compare an offer from card A with an offer from card B on a true apples-to-apples basis. It cuts through all the noise. Simply put, a lower APR means a cheaper loan. End of story.
So here's the million-dollar question. If APR is an annual rate, how does that translate into the interest charge that actually pops up on your monthly statement? Let's break down the math, and I promise it's way simpler than you might think.
Okay, let's just walk through a super simple example. Imagine you've got a $100 balance on a card with an 18% APR. All the bank does is take that annual 18% and divide it by 12 months. That gives you a monthly rate of 1.5%. Then they just calculate 1.5% of your $100 balance, which is just $1.50. And boom, that's your interest charge for the month.
Now, that $1.50 might not sound like much, right? But that's the rent you paid to borrow just $100 for 1 month. So let's play this out. Imagine that same calculation, but on a balance of $1,000 or $5,000. You can see how fast that cost starts to multiply. And this is how debt can snowball. If you don't pay that off, next month you're paying interest on your interest.
But why are we obsessing over this one number so much? Because, understanding it isn't just some boring math exercise. It has a direct and really powerful impact on your financial life.
I mean, just look at this. This slide really shows you the power of APR in action. On the left, you've got card A with a pretty decent 15% APR. Your costs are manageable. But over on the right, with card B's whopping 25% APR, your debt grows so much faster. That 10-point difference might not seem huge at first glance, but believe me, over time, it means you're paying way, way more for the exact same debt.
So let's pull all of this together. Here are the key things you need to walk away with. First, a higher APR always means it's going to cost you more to borrow money, period. And even a small difference in that rate can cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars over time. Now, the absolute best way to avoid these costs? It's simple. Pay your balance in full every single month. But if you can't, always check that APR before you apply for anything. It is the true price tag of your credit.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you pull out a credit card, don't just think about the sticker price of whatever you're buying. Ask yourself this: if I end up carrying this balance, what is the true cost of this purchase going to be? The good news is, you now have the tools to figure out the answer.